Brother, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
I'm making it now that my sound is working. So, you know,
Hey, man, we all have technical difficulties. We all
it's
have technical difficulties.
it's just one of those weird days where the mic decides to stop working and the show must go on, I guess.
We
So we're
recording
gonna
now?
make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We'll
you
make it
here.
work.
You here, man. It's all good. It's all good. We made it.
Yeah,
Sorry to
man.
our loyals that were a little bit behind. Didn't do the show last week, late this week. It's all good. We're here. We made it. Mama,
We're
we made
making
it.
it. We're making it. We're making
Yes.
it. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good, man. It's a good day, man. It's a good day. Really, in spite of we're still having air condition issues over here. So hopefully
Right.
tomorrow, tomorrow
Wow.
they came over, fixed the part that they thought was making the issue. That didn't work. So they were like, oh, we'll come back. We got to order a new part. And then, Candace, my lovely wife, she wasn't having it. So she called and fussed. And so they're coming tomorrow. So we'll
Well,
see. But other than that, I mean, it's been yeah, Daniel, it's the thing. Like from what I've heard, man, like people air conditioning units been
all
riding.
at the same time, too.
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen?
So we had this is random. We had an electrician, so our attic fan went out too, and
Ooh,
so we had an electrician come up. Hold on, no, we're on. Candace just said, "Are you in the show?" I said, "No, we're on." Yeah, so our attic fan went out. We had an electrician come. He was like, "Yo, we can't fix this. You got to get a roofer." Long story short, he spent a little bit of time at the crib, and he was like, "Yo, like the issues that we people are having is just because there's too much tech drawing power from houses, and the grid was never designed to handle the power consumption that our neighborhoods are currently now pulling." It's like, when you get a person like us who has an old home, they're like, "Yo, your house was built to have a gas stove." You know, everybody in your neighborhood is converting to electric. I'm like, hell no, I want to cook on gas. But again, the grid was designed for your house to have a gas stove, not an electric stove. When people add, electric recharging batteries to their house, grid was never designed to support that. And so he's like, yo, like what we're dealing with now is a grid that's not designed to handle the power consumptions of these neighborhoods. And so that's what's causing a lot of electrical issues. So
interesting.
yeah,
Interesting indeed.
I spend way too much time talking to people who come work at my house.
Hey, you got to know who's inside your house. I
That's
don't
what I'm
blame you.
talking about.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. All I know is we're still dealing with our air conditioner unit. And
Man, still.
at this point, they've said, we don't know when the part is going to get here.
I thought they was
That's all.
replacing the whole unit.
We did that part. That was unit one. Unit two is also down
Does unit 2 control the upstairs or downstairs?
upstairs.
So the living area.
Yeah.
The
You know,
space you spend most of your time.
I think Danielle's onto something. It's infrastructural issues, and
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it. I think this is a big sign that we just need to leave Earth. We did an episode a long time ago. Earth is trash. Earth is ghetto.
The earth is
Earth
ghetto.
is ghetto. This is the follow up. Earth is ghetto and broke. So
Man.
let's
And I think
go.
a lot of it's driven by because we band-aid issues and we don't fix issues. And
Right.
so it makes it a lot harder, to say, hey, because you can't shut the grid down, but nobody wants you to pull any more taxes from them to fix the grid, right? This is not a political show, but we tend to dabble a little bit. And so, I think that's the issue is nobody wants to commit the necessary resources to do it right. Let's band-aid the grid.
But see, like, I don't know, man. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over everything constantly being broken. Like, and I've gotten to the frustration point now where it's like the littlest, weirdest, oddest things just set it off, right?
Yep.
Like I'd be driving in a car and I could pull up on 285 and be like, y'all fixing 285 again? Like, this is every year y'all are repaving the damn highway again, right?
Right.
And it doesn't logically make sense. Of course, they gotta upkeep the highway, but it pisses me off, man. It's just making me mad.
I think it's it's interesting, man. Part of me it has to be poor planning, right? So like here we are. We live over in Avondale. They're putting up an apartment complex about a mile down the road. I have no issue with the apartment. Apartment complexes don't really care one way or the other. People would need to have places to stay at different price points. Do your thing. My issue is we approve the zoning for those apartments, and we can calculate within a rough number how many students that those apartments are going to have in them. But we can't, in the same process, go ahead and start the zoning or building process for the schools that'll support all of these influx of kids that come with our area. And so now it feels like the infrastructure is always behind the
I'm not even going. You know why that is.
I mean, that's money.
No, it's the wrong type of person living inside those apartments.
But I mean, it's everything. I mean, it's not. Yes, it is the apartments, right? But I mean, it's So we just left Decula, right? When we go down to see Marlon and Tasha for whatever reason, the neighborhood we left when we left, the school was zoned for maybe had 400 or 500 students in it.
Mm-hmm.
And now when you drive down that same street, there might be 4 neighborhoods that are like ridiculously large.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, I get it, right? People are moving. Business economy is decent. Interest rates are coming down next year. Okay, what does that do for the schools that these kids are going to go to, or the roads that we have to drive on? And it's like nobody cares. It's like, hey, let's just approve homes or approve apartments. Again, don't care one way or the other. Those things get approved significantly faster than the infrastructure that it takes to support those changes. And it's ass backwards.
Hey, man, all I'm saying is Atlanta, and much in line with the topic of the show, Atlanta's on some bullshit, right?
On some bullshit.
On some bullshit.
Like Marlon said, it's about 500 homes. On that,
it's about 500 homes. Road. No more teachers. And I'm like, where are they putting? They putting a neighborhood in here? They putting another neighborhood. Are they putting another neighborhood? Oh, y'all got another neighborhood. Where are all these people coming from?
Fam.
It's crazy.
What's crazy is, there's already speculation that home prices are going to go up again next year because the Fed's supposed to lower interest rates. And so, we're going to juice the market one more time. And, now granted, somebody throw your border right number and I move again. I ain't got no shame. But it's just really interesting. And it's unfortunate because city planners and people who zone these things, like apartments or new subdivisions, don't just come up out of the ground, right? Like somebody knew about these things a year ago, 2 years ago. And so nobody said, hey, we just approved this 2 years ago. They're going to break ground next month. We should probably have some level of coordination with the school or the road building people so that we could build the infrastructure.
It's trash.
We need another grocery store, right? Like nobody, and it's like nobody cares, man. It's trash and it's boo boo.
Can we talk about boo boo for a second?
All right, so
I just have to hear this whole story. I have to hear the whole story. I'm wondering if other people know where we're going with this. So I just have to hear this. I have to hear this story.
So Delta is we're gonna eventually, like, guys, I apologize. We're 2 years into the show. We're gonna get these transitions down. Sometimes we just roll, and y'all got to roll with us. But anyway, so Delta's having a shitty couple of weeks, to say the least. We didn't do a show last week. Well, last week they had a passenger on an international flight that got the runs. And so middle of the flight, shawty or dude, I don't know who it was, got the runs, all the bathrooms was taken. So the person is running up and down the aisle looking for a bathroom, and Boo Boo just shacking out onto the carpet, right? So I'm talking about boo boo
Oh
down the
no.
aisle. It's a video of it. If y'all ain't seen it, I'm not
There's
showing
a
it.
video. I
There's a
have to find
video
the
because
video.
you know one thing about us is we're gonna pull out our phone to record it.
I ain't saying I did.
So they eventually, so flight attendants and crew, they start spraying air freshener, and they
Oh
start
my god.
they start
Oh my
they
god.
start laying paper towels on the boo boo
Oh
stuff.
no.
So eventually it gets so bad that the plane has to detour, land, and they have to get all the passengers off the plane so that they can clean it up. And of course, my wife, you know, one of her clients is in the airline industry, so she had all the tea, and she's like, "No, they got to tear the carpet out of that airplane.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
tear the carpet out the plane,
Yeah, because it's
reinstall
bodily fluid.
carpets, and
And
then put people back on that same plane and get them to
no,
their destination." Yeah,
they ain't
Kansas
gonna do
City got
that.
people on that same plane 8 hours later.
Oh my god.
8 hours later.
Well, good evening, passengers. This is your pilot speaking. We are flying at about 35,000 air flights feet in the sky. Just want to let you guys know we will be landing immediately, as there has been an accident up and down the hallway.
So
If you will, not exit the jet bridge until the flight attendants will graciously let you up.
because you know good and well, I'm only exiting the plane from one side, right?
Hell no.
We going the long way to get, if I'm sitting on the side with the boo boo with the boo boo thing, I'm not walking down that aisle. I'm not.
I feel so bad for the flight attendants and the ground crew that
Man.
got to cut that up. Imagine there's somebody with a knife
Mhm.
that's like, yeah,
Ground
yeah,
crew.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because so
And someone's like, can you hurry up? Because people got to get to their destination.
man,
And you're like,
so Candace is like, yo, flight
boo-boo
crew
on the
got
ground.
sent home. She was like, yo, they gonna put the pilot and the flight crew in the air, you know, they gonna send them home. So the stewardesses and them, they just got off the plane with the passengers. Like, let me get
No,
my belt.
I'm talking about the dude that has to cut it out.
Oh yeah, you know,
The ramp crew,
fam,
the ramp,
they
dog,
was hot.
I'm telling you, very few people know this, but it wasn't but maybe just a few years ago that I was working the ramp at Delta as a second job. And I can tell you, it's some nasty, crazy stuff going on some of these flights.
I thought that they would just steam clean the carpets and then boom, bang, boom, you back on the plane. Candace was like, hell no. They ripping the carpet out.
If they ripping up the carpet, that's like you go to the lowest person on the totem. Maintenance workers got a union, right? They got a union. They're gonna protect them. The temporary ramp agents that's seasonal, that's just trying to get some change right before the holidays. You best believe they watch your behind out there and say, here's a knife, here's a bag, clean it up.
But
and be quick about
so that
it.
means there's a warehouse at every airport just full of airport carpet?
No, that's the other problem. Is like, I'm like, they didn't replace it, did they?
Yeah, they replaced the carpet.
Oh, that's terrible. I feel so bad.
So in my mind, so I had to ask my wife this. In my mind, I thought that they would have just got another plane. Hey, boom, it's another 787 sitting over there. Let's bring that over.
But it's not.
It's not. She's like,
yeah,
there aren't just extra planes. And I'm like, what you talking?
And if that's a key segment, if it's not at the end of the day, like if it's going somewhere and it's got to turn and burn back, yeah, I could see why they were like, that bird's got to get back in the air and it must fly.
And so she was like, and then she also said you also have to account for how long the pilots have been in the air. So she was like, if the pilots were bumping up against numbers,
Yeah,
Like
the next
if
day
they were bumping up against their max flight time for the day,
they
then
said
that means they had to delay the flight for 8
that's
hours
terrible. That's
just
terrible.
to get into the next day so that the pilots could fly the rest of the leg. So some of this was cleaning up the boo-boo plane. Some of this could have also been making sure that the flight crew didn't bump up against their hours.
Hell nah.
I was like, okay, so here's my question to you. If you was the boo-boo man, you was the dude, you had the bubble guts, and boom, you got on the plane, you tried to hold it, all the bathrooms was full, and now you the boo-boo man. Are
You
you
boo-booed
ever
the
flying
food.
again?
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
flying again.
are you so you're not embarrassed? Like you're not you don't hope somebody gonna recognize you. Oh
You
man,
know what that
that's the dude
you
who
know what
shot
that
on glass plate.
you know what that dude said as soon as that happened, right? You can imagine this. You're sitting in your seat, playing your little game, you're watching a little show. You're like, this is a good show. This is what's up. And then some guy gets up and he kind of walks very quickly down the aisle.
Oh, you
And
know
then
the
he
walk.
walks, and then he walks right back, and then he walks back down. And then you like, what's going on? You take off your headset. You're like, what's going on? And you hear the dude, and he goes like this. Why don't they have more? They don't have enough airplane bathrooms. Why don't they have enough bathrooms? It's 2023. Why don't you have enough bathrooms? Where are all the bathrooms? And then it starts to come out. He's like, I'm having an emergency because there aren't enough bathrooms. He's like, this is Delta's problem, right? I have to go. I have to go to the bathroom. What do you want from me? There's not enough bathrooms. It's 2023. Where are the bathrooms?
I don't
in the
think he's doing that
plane?
much talking. I done been there,
Oh,
right?
he's
So
definitely doing that much talking.
back
He's
in the day, he's not.
He's
I
definitely.
I remember I had just finished bartending an event. Me and Kyle was like, yo, let's go get something to eat. Kyle wanted Taco Bell. I was like, no, that ain't a good idea. He's like, no, I want Taco Bell. I got Taco Bell. We ate, boom, we in the car. We trying to head back to get my car because we drove together. And I'm like, bro, you got to speed up. And I know to walk because my man was probably holding his butt. He was holding his stomach and he was clenching that thing so tight, Shaw, running up and down. My man was not talking because he was afraid if I breathe wrong, it's gonna slip out. It's over.
Don't make me breathe.
He was focused.
Don't make me breathe. That's when you're doing an awkward sit. You're like,
you shifting side to side. And you hold up both hands. You holding your stomach.
And like someone sitting next to you, like, I hope the bathroom opens up soon. And you're like this.
Because hey, you know fam had a window seat. You know he had a window seat.
I'm sorry, I have to get up. I have to get up again. Someone's like, okay, yeah, gee.
He had to shimmy. He shimmy past two people farting. You know.
Hey, so wait. Before we get into the other Delta blunder,
I'm sorry.
Right? Can I tell you about, speaking of shit, this lady sitting next to me on this plane was with the shits this whole flight. I flew back on Saturday, right? So the Alabama game's on.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama FAU. This whole flight, this lady acted like she was sending Alabama energy through the screen. Like I never seen somebody that goes like, albeit quiet flight. Ain't nobody saying anything on a flight. Every now and then, every like 10 minutes, woo! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Shit, right in front of somebody that's a Georgia fan, right? Watching the Georgia game, and he's looking back like, if she don't shut them. Right. I mean, every 10 minutes. I was like, against FAU? When the FAU?
It was one of the Florida schools.
Bruh. It was Florida
Atlantic, I think. No, South Florida. SFU.
South Florida. Dog. I was like, ma'am, if you don't sit all the way down, talking about Alabama cheering on Alabama in this game. They should have never been that close to begin with. Ma'am, sit down. Sit
All right.
down,
So
please.
before we jump to the other story, I do have one question for you.
Yeah.
What's the most, in the spirit of the person who shat all over this plane, had to be living through the biggest embarrassment of his or her life? What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?
On a plane?
No, just in life. Share what you want.
I've had some pretty embarrassing moments though. Like that's kind of hard. I will tell you an embarrassing story. I'm not sure if it's the most embarrassing moment. I'd have to think on that. So there was a time when I don't know how that played out. I think I was at a bar or something in college, trying to play cool, talking to people, having a good time, drunk a little bit too much. And somebody said, "Oh, I think you drunk too much." I was like, "I didn't drink that much." They turned around and I was like, "Hurrah!" And I turned around was like, just minding my business. I heard somebody walk up and slip on the throw up. And I was like this, somebody threw up on the ground. I don't know what happened. That's probably, I threw up so quick that they didn't even know. And I was like, I'm playing it off.
That's rough.
And someone slipped and they fell. And that's probably a embarrassing story. I'm not sure if that's the worst. What about for you?
I'd probably say I got to go back to high school, man. In gym class, gym full of folks. I called myself, I'm about to jump over this little tennis net or whatever. It was like a net, whatever they was doing. Everybody was jumping over it. Boom, we could jump over it. So I'm like, yeah, of course, right? I just had on my socks, bro, and went to run and jump over it.
Don't tell me your foot got caught.
It couldn't get over that thing. My foot got caught. Wow. In the middle of the gym, man. So, hey, it's a gym. So that sound was loud. It was.
Did you pay? Oh.
That was like in front of everybody, bro. In front of everybody.
Yeah.
Whole gym, man. So that was one of them moments where you just like, gotta eat this one. Can't stay home from school tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. That's probably one of them. Yeah. Throwing up like that was pretty bad for me. So, but I'm bumping the things that I'm like walk all around. I do crazy stuff all the time. So I'm surprised there aren't a billion embarrassing stories out there somewhere, but about me doing something stupid.
I mean, I think the reality, it's a good and bad, and then we can jump to the next Delta story, since this is a Delta dominated show today, because Delta's on some shit. I think the gift of our time period of college was that we went to school pre-social media. And so had that happened now, there would be a video of you throwing up and then a girl slipping on it, and we would all be yelling World Star laughing at it, right? Like that's just the reality. Me busting my face in the gym, somebody would have put a story behind it, or they would have put some music behind it. Right. And my face would have been hitting the floor over and over to a beat. So I think we live in a good time, or we grew up in a better time, pre-social media.
Easier time. I do think about this time in 6th grade. I was about to get into a fight, and this guy was like, this kid much bigger than me was like, if you knew me back in 6th grade, you'd be like, I was a scrawny kid, right? And this kid was like, I'm gonna beat you down. I'm gonna beat you down like after school, like 3:30 or something, right? It was like, all right, bet. I'm with it, right? Because I'm like, I'll just leave early, right? Right. I'll just leave early before he has a chance to catch me. He was outside waiting on the way. So I was like, damn, he's already out there. I don't know how to get around him. So I just gotta go through him. So I've been watching a bunch of shows like Three Ninjas, right? And like Home Alone, and like some of these things were like, oh, you can fight back, right? Like you could fight back. In fact, I think there was a movie with Chuck Norris and a kid getting bullied at like a school, and he was imagining Chuck Norris coaching him through some stuff. So I was like, I could fight. I got this, right? So this kid, he wasn't a dude. He was just a big ass sixth grader. To me, scrawny kid was like, all right, we're going to fight. So I put up my hands. I was like, all right, game plan. Kick him in his balls, just like TV. Kick him in his fucking balls. Just kick, bah, right? Right? So I swear up, dude starts like jumping, like, oh, what you gonna do? You pushes me. I was like, here it comes. Now's the time. Wow, right? Try to kick him in his balls. See, the thing that was though, he had sagged his pants. He was sagging his pants. So when I went to kick him, it didn't do anything. And he was like, what was that?
Well, you got that work.
And I was like, fuck,
man.
I got my ass whooped. I came home and I think my mom was like, well, what happened to you? I was like, got into a fight. She was like, you win? Nope. Right. And I don't want to talk about it. And I think I went up to my room for like the rest of the day. Like, I think I put myself on self-imposed punishment.
Yeah, you got that work, man.
But I was like, note to self, don't kick somebody in the balls. Or at least check to see if they're sagging their pants. Because, yeah, that doesn't work.
This way you
That's exactly how that played out. Can we talk about Delta, though, for real? The other Delta thing?
I mean, I'll let you lead this one because I think I'm not surprised by Delta, but I am annoyed by Delta. So, yeah, go ahead and tell the story.
All right. So, flashback a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I got an email. Y'all know me, Jeff, we on a points game. We always on a points game. We always hunt for a point. Amex sends me a message, says, hey, man, you might want to upgrade the Delta Reserve. I said, why would I want to do that? It's an expensive card. No, that card.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started to think about it. I was like, something going on. And then I saw an alert on Reddit that said, Delta just notified customer service agents to prepare for updates to Sky Miles. Had everyone on Reddit freaked out. It was like, what was going on? Last year they made this update. They said, even if you have the Delta card to get into the Sky Club, you can only go to the Sky Club unless you can only go if you're flying Delta that day. So they want to limit people to the Sky Club. Okay, cool. Not a big deal. The day rolls around. My phone is blowing up. People on Reddit going crazy. I said, what happened? What was the update? Delta updated Sky Miles last week to now nothing counts towards Sky Miles. The only thing that counts is that cash.
And it's cash that you spend, not even cash that you spend on the card.
No.
It's cash that you spend with Delta.
Right. So now, in order to qualify for Medallion, you got to get 6,000 for silver. You got to get 6,000 MQDs, right?
Mile qualifying, and those are. I mean, they do have a point. They do have it. It's miles qualifying dollars,
but it's 1-to-1 for Delta dollars.
Yep.
But for Amex users, it's 1-to-10 if you're on reserve. 1 MQD for every $10 spent on your Amex.
Yep.
Or if you're Delta Platinum, it's $1 for every $20 you spend.
Yep.
So in order to get to 66,000 miles, right? You got to spend something like, what was it? It's like 120,000.
I think to get to platinum, I want to say, I thought I read it was like $350,000.
Yeah. To get to platinum is $350. To get to silver, it's $120 on Amex Platinum.
Yep.
On reserve, it's 60,000 that you got to spend plus the renewal, right?
Yep.
And then when you look at the benefits, you get a capped amount of Sky Club visits.
Yep.
Still got to be on Delta. And here's the kicker: the other side of this is a Sky Club membership only costs about $700.
But and it also kicked. So you also, if you had the Delta American Express, you paid $50. You could still get into the club. You can still get into to the lounge. Now all of that's gone. So they went from having overcrowded clubs or overcrowded lounges to now having pretty much nobody in them damn. Like, I mean, there will be people there because I know people that fly enough to make it happen, or they spend enough to make it happen. There's probably people who do business travel.
If you're like me and you do business travel and you like the Sky Club, why would I spend 60,000 on a reserve card to then pay the renewal to get Sky Club when all I got to do is buy a Sky Club membership for $700? Why would I do that?
Or not even that, like, and that's the crazy thing. And this is what, like, Delta, from a social perspective, I'm pretty sure their mentions is probably through the roof, and we'll see how they weather the storm. But the reality is there in Hartsfield Jackson, there's probably 10 other lounges that you have access to through varying other credit cards.
Right.
Like,
bro, save for the people in the back. Because
that's the thing. Even Candace is like, all right, and so what I'm struggling with is, do I just cancel my Delta American Express altogether? Like, do you take the credit hit of canceling a credit card? Because I don't even want to pay the renewal fee. It's $200 a year, I think, the Delta American Express one. And so, like, I don't necessarily want to pay the renewal fee if I'm not using the card.
Bruh, it's so much outrage that cancel Delta has been a trending topic, right? Yeah. And so much, this isn't really, it's bad for Delta. It's worse for Amex. And Amex with it, like, Amex is like, we don't control Delta. They did what they decided to do.
But and the other side of that coin is now Amex gonna lose. Now you're losing money as Amex because I have zero incentive now because I'll just use my venture card. I'll use my other credit card that gives me if the miles and the points thing are what you want, I'll just I'll use my other credit card and then I'll supplement that with the hotel points credit card, right? Like Candace already started looking at other credit card options, and it's like, yo,
I don't blame her. If you travel a lot, it's like, one, I gotta pay $6,000 in Delta dollars to get there. That's crazy as hell, right?
And then, like, my point, and that's the other part, is like my miles that I accumulate. Granted, I can convert them over to other travel partners, right? So if I want to fly Air France, I can convert Delta miles to Air France miles, but I can do that with other credit cards,
right?
Like there are a bunch of other credit cards that I like.
You talk about status match and all that. People are just pissed, right? And it's like, this is horrible, man. Like, this is like really bad for Delta.
My new favorite credit card, no lie, is probably my Venture X card. Like that's one.
I've heard other people remark that
Venture X joint. They give you hella perks, right? From the car rental joints to like their transfer, like they transfer, I think it's dollar for dollar. It's not dollar for dollar. You can convert your points into cash, which you can't do with Delta.
Right.
So the Venture X joint has been my oh, you're right. Candace said we do need to use our miles for the end of the year though, because they ain't gonna be worth the same.
Well, apparently you can use them through 24, but after 24, it's all these changes are for 25. So it's how you accumulate miles in 24. But yeah, if you got travel coming up, it's like this totally poops on everybody's parade, pun intended. right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I paid attention to the date that it was supposed to launch. Maybe they catch because the reality also is you was making money, good money
Right.
off of people like me who had the regular Delta Amex paying $50 a visit or pay whatever it was. That's money. That's a bank.
Right.
So now you sacrifice. Hey, I want to have less people in the lounge, but now you also lose money. So I wonder, like, obviously
Well,
somebody
I
had
don't
to do
think it's
cost
about the
benefit.
lounges. I don't think it's about the lounges. I honestly think what this boils down to is here's where I think the problem really is. I think it's that Delta understood that it's way too many people getting first class in Delta One without having to pay for it, right? Because now you got all these diamond people that are like, I'm not paying for a Delta One seat. No one pays for a Delta One seat.
You
I'll
just
just wait till we
upgrade.
board. I'll buy first class and then I'll get upgraded to Delta One, or I'll buy coach and then get upgraded to Comfort Plus, right? And
Yeah,
it's like it's too many of y'all. Like if you look at the upgrade list on some of these
upgrade list be
flights,
deep, Shorty. The upgrade list
it'd
be
be like
20 people
60,
deep.
70 people. And it'd be
Yeah,
like, yo, Delta's looking at how much money they're losing
yeah, that
on
makes sense.
Delta One, on business class, on Comfort Plus, all these things. All these things are supposed to add value, but people keep buying main cabin
And
and
then
then
getting
upgrading
upgrades.
the
They're
seat
using their
or
status
same day
to upgrade.
changing. So they need to filter out how many people are getting to elite status, right? So the war that people are saying, the people think they're blaming Amex users when, let's be honest, Amex users ain't the ones filling up them lounges like
No,
that. But diamond people are the ones filling up your first class.
yeah,
And those
and that's
seats
real
are
money.
supposed to be extremely expensive.
Yeah, that's real money.
So
Yeah,
Delta's like, we got to weed them out. So I think it's more of the diamond, platinum, like it's too many people getting up to that level. So they trying to throttle them out is what I would surmise is
they
going
need to
on there.
they need to figure this out. Yeah, we both got companion passes we need to use. So hey,
No, I mean, but I mean that's another thing. I think Delta's looking at it like, why are we not more profitable? Has been the question,
man,
right?
you are
And
profitable.
the
Yes, you want
but the
more. I get it.
but the companion tickets, look at what they've been doing with companion tickets. It's hard as hell to redeem a companion ticket
It is. And
because they've
they're gonna
locked
make
in
you
all the
fly.
fares.
Yep.
Right. And why is that? Because it's too many people got these benefits,
Yep.
right? So that's what I think is going
Hey,
on.
real talk. I'm assuming other credit card companies about to, they're gonna figure it out too. The benefits on my venture card are dope. Like I think if you go and just pull the benefits for Venture X, I think you being a points person would
Right.
really, again, the Braves lost again. I think you would like the benefits associated with the venture joint.
Well, we have a venture card.
Oh,
We
you
me and
do?
Danielle, we have that. We don't have the Venture X. I heard the Venture X has different benefits. So I might have to check that out. But what Candace said is I hadn't heard of any changes from the Delta side. Amex might have to remove it as a benefit. I think this is more about Delta and Amex. It might have a beef going on with them, which is like this is kind of like Delta going on strike against Amex, right?
Yeah, but I think the other side
Because
is
where you gonna go? Spirit?
right,
Where you
and
gonna go?
that's
American?
interesting because Delta is doing this to Amex, but Amex isn't going to want to lose all these customers
Right.
that have
So
these
they're like,
cards. So where
you're
does
gonna have to
Amex
pay
now
up.
go to increase this to make sure that they don't lose
Right.
people?
I think they're gonna say you're gonna have to pony up and compensate. We're not telling you to change your benefits, but this is a you problem, not a me problem, right? And I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out, but I gotta believe they're playing with fire left and right
100%.
because this isn't the way your brand needs to operate.
Yep.
And this is horrible. This is horrible. you know.
Yep. Hey man, I tell you, like again, the Capital One joint for us, it was more about the lounge access
Right.
because it made traveling with the whenever we travel, we traditionally travel with the kids. And so
Right.
being able to travel with the lounge is significantly easier on travel days for us because it allows us to let the kids have a space so they can charge the tablets, have comfortable seats, grab a get bite to eat. We can grab some drinks, right? Like all the things. My kids ain't really eating in the airport, no way too tough. And Candace brings snacks.
Right.
But at least it just allowed them, space to just sit and be. But hey man, the Capital One, they got a lounge. Like there's a priority pass. They have like it's enough. It's too many other people who have lounges for me
Right.
to go. I'm not ponying up the money because I don't fly enough to do the platinum the Delta Reserve joint. The Reserve joint is $695 a year.
Right.
Now, granted, there are some amazing perks, and we'll see what those look like on the other side of this. Some of those perks may change, right? Because if you got the reserve card, one of your perks was not a non-traditional companion pass, and your companion pass was a first-class ticket,
Right.
On the reserve side. But if that changes, I'm
Right.
not ponying up $700 a year for no credit card.
Candace correct. It calls it out for if you fly frequently and you live in Atlanta, this is horrible because they literally monopolize the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good by us, by your home base, right? Like we were taking care of Delta. Everybody was in Atlanta.
For me, it don't hurt much. I mean, for me, what it changes is I'm just not going to pay with my Delta credit card no more. Like, right. I don't get the double point. For me, it just changes the math on who I buy my tickets through or who I use to purchase my tickets. I'll still fly the flight, but I'm not buying it with my Delta card because there's no benefits from a points perspective anymore for me getting double miles. I'll just book it on a different credit card and be done. Like, so I don't think it affects me that much. It's just I'll just move on to a different card.
Dude, it's just crazy. I'm just really I'm disappointed, man.
Yeah.
Like, and then now they've changed the Sky Club membership options to only medallion members.
Yep.
So correctly anticipating that you won't be able to get this one way or another.
Yep.
And it's like, that sucks. We need what we should do, what me and you should do, and we should talk with Justin about doing this, is we should create our own lounge. Just why can't we do our own lounge?
Black as hell. We're gonna play trap music and everything. It's just a rental space. It's just
I think this is a great idea. I think me, you, Justin, Candace, Danielle, Akuba, we just need to get our own lounge in Atlanta and be like, we got this as a membership for just our peoples,
so
right?
It's the gathering spot inside of Hartsfield Jackson.
But not gathering spot. We gotta call it something else. But,
right? You can come pull up a seat, have some old records. You could do your record. You could do your record shop coffee spot in Hartsfield.
All you need is a good bartender, got some good vibes going on. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yes. I wonder, that's probably not that hard to do. I'm sure it's just leasing space from the airport, which is probably not that cheap, but put together a good business plan, and I think you could probably go with it.
Dude, that's crazy. It sucks because I really like Delta's quality, but I'm
just not visiting the lounge. And I'm just not going to buy my tickets. I'm not going to buy plane tickets. I am actually less likely now to use my Delta American Express. I probably won't ever pull it out of my wallet. I don't have any incentive to use it.
Right.
Not when the other cards give me just as many travel benefits or points as my Delta one did.
It's just wild, man. It's just crazy. It's
Yep.
crazy.
Yo, you want to jump into hero villain?
Yes, I only have one villain.
It's
I only
he.
have one.
Okay. You want to
You
jump
want
into
to?
it?
Yes. My villain of the week is Lauren Boebert.
Oh God, she's such an ass. Dear God. Sorry. Go talk about her.
I love it. I love it. I love it that she went to a Tony Award-winning play, Beetlejuice,
He got felt
that
up.
had night cameras focused on her and acted like a thought the whole time. Like,
Hey,
she did everything that you would imagine. When I say the word thought, and you imagine what a thought does, right? That's what she did, right?
She was thotty.
She's vaping.
Mm-hmm.
And then when someone's like, ma'am, are you vaping? She's like, mind your business, right?
Do you know who I am?
Then she's groping her date as he's fondling her on like in front of the whole crowd, like they're just sitting there, right? Then she's dancing, and they said no recording. She's recording with a flash on. You know how annoying that is in a dark room when someone blatantly turns their flash on in a dark room, recording the whole thing. And then when they kicked her out, she said, no, I didn't get kicked out. I left on my own. And then they said, well, they said you were vaping and fondling a guy. Or they said you were vaping and recording the show. She said, I wasn't doing any of that. Then they showed her the tape. They said, here's the video. And she said, I'm apologize about that. I don't know what happened there. And it's like, yeah. What happened to those fine Christian values that were like,
so Danielle, your husband's villain is Lauren Boebert. I think she is the Republican congresswoman from South Dakota, maybe.
Yeah, somewhere random.
But my man, the story that came up, but my man owns a bar in town in wherever she's from. And it's she speaks very anti-LGBTQ, and he regularly hosts LGBTQ plus bar nights for that community. So it's amazing to watch the juxtaposition of who she claims to be when she's yelling into a microphone on Newsmax or in the well of Congress, but then who she is when she thinks nobody's watching. But the camera's always watching.
Hey, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was extremely hilarious. Best, funniest thing I saw this week.
Made my day.
What about you? Who you got?
So my villain of the week. Do I start with villain? I'll start with villain. My villain is probably he's not really a villain. I just feel sorry. So if you hadn't saw the story over the weekend, I think it was yesterday, the pilot, there's a pilot who a Marine ejected out of a F-35 fighter pilot over South Carolina. I guess he was doing a training mission. Autopilot was on. Something happened. Boom. He hits eject, but autopilot's on the plane. So the plane keeps flying. And so all Sunday, the military is out looking for this plane flying on autopilot with no pilot in it. And so I think the villain / I feel bad for the intern or the private first class that had to go tell the general, hey, we lost the airplane. Like I just want to be a fly on the wall for how that conversation went, because FAM went 0 to 100 real quick. So it's not really a villain. I just thought that story was super interesting, and I laughed, and I felt bad for the grunt who had to go and tell their superior officers that they lost an airplane. So, yeah, keeping it light. I think my hero of the week this week is I told y'all that I found this Cuban bakery near the house, and it is blessing my life, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest with you. This Cuban bakery, I don't even really do coffee like that. Like, that's not my thing. But the Cuban bakery is open Thursday through Sunday, from 8 to 2. They start serving Cuban sandwiches at 11. They got the pastries in there. They got the Cuban desserts. They got the sandwiches. It's heaven. I've been 3 weeks in a row. I found it through, the neighbors told me about it 3 weeks ago, about 4 weeks ago. I've been every week, once a week. I roll up. I get 4 desserts. Every Saturday I roll in, or Friday I roll in, give me 4 desserts. Boom, boom, boom. And I take them home, and then I have dessert over the weekend. I have enough dessert to get me to Thursday.
You loading up.
Fam, I have no shame. And I walked in last Friday, and the little lady who takes my order, she looked up and she laughed because she knew what I was there for.
She knew what it was. She knew to play on the field.
She knew what it was. Like, this is not a surprise to her. I've been here. This is my 3rd week in a row. I'm gonna pull up again on Friday, and I'm gonna buy up their desserts. The sandwiches is fire too. Like, I'm not gonna hate on the sandwiches is busting.
Right.
But the desserts. My dear God.
Got him.
Got him. We fucking got him. They are my heroes. The name of the restaurant, if you want to know, is Buena Gente. I don't know how to speak that. Buena Gente. Candace, put that in the chat in the phonetic joint. But they are fire. Ladies and gentlemen, they are fire. So if you're ever in the Decatur area, Thursday, let me get the link to this website so I can go and put it in the chat for you. If you're ever in the Decatur area, Thursday through Sunday, pull up. Text me you're going. I'll meet you there. I have no shame. Even if I just left, I will still meet you there because it's that fire. So there's the link to the restaurant. Pull up. Let your boy know, and I will meet you there. You can drink coffee. I'll eat desserts. Bye. That's my hero of the week. The Cuban house.
I feel you. It's a good spot. Though.
That's my spot, man. I mean, it makes me happy. Like, I get arroz con leches, so rice pudding. I get my flan. Oh, I love my flan. And then so traditionally, flan is this vanilla custard with a caramel top or caramel bottom. And when you get to the custard, boom, caramel there. They done switched it up. It's the flan with an espresso bottom. And so when you get that first bite, you get this nice custard with this espresso. And I'm like, hey, sir.
Doc, you all the way ITPing now.
Fam, that is my spot, bro. Let me tell you something. That is my spot.
You are ITPing it up now.
So the first day we went, I know we about to go, yeah. I'm sorry. The first day we went, your boy, I got the Cuban sandwich. Candace was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a set of empanadas." I was like, "Oh, they got empanadas." She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get some chicken ones." She got 2 chicken ones. I was like, "Well, shoot, I'm gonna get some empanadas." I got a chicken and a beef empanada.
Right.
And then she got what did she get? She got the pastelito. She got the pastelito, the phyllo dough wrapped with cream cheese.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, they got I had to get one of them. I got the guava joint, fire. And then I got the arroz con leches and the flan. Now I need to try the tres leches because I have not made it through the full dessert section because I keep getting stuck on the 2 that I always buy. So maybe this Friday I'll get my usual 4, and then I'll throw in some tres leches. I don't know, man. I feel like they should see me coming and offer a sampler platter. I feel like that should be like, hey Jeff, here's a sampler platter. Right. That's what it sinks to my fat kid. Duran, you're more than welcome to join me, brother. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I'll meet you there. It's my happy place. That's all I got, brother.
Sure, man. I appreciate it, though. It's good. I mean, I don't have those resources anymore.
Well, let me tell you something. That's y'all's fault.
I'm just saying.
We don't know, and then we'll end the show here, and then we're gonna do it. Carrie was one of Carrie and Danielle, Justin and Akuba, spent years telling me and Candace, oh, y'all should move into the city. Y'all should move into the city. Y'all are too far. We don't like coming to see y'all that far. Y'all should move into the city. What do we do?
Right.
Bet. We moved into the city. What happened 6 months later? Carrie and Danielle carried their ass out to Six Flags. This ain't my fault. We came for y'all.
We had to though.
This is the thanks, huh?
We had to.
This is the thanks. This is the thanks. I'd like the record as we end the show today, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like the record to reflect that Carrie and Danielle asked us to move out here. We obliged, sold all of our stuff, everything we owned.
Right.
We moved out here to be closer to them and my future goddaughter.
Wait
and
a
then
minute.
They moved. Just saying. I tell no lies. I'll let my wife speak on it. I tell no lies. This is exactly how it happened. And then they went out. They moved to the other side of the world. Bow bow. And then they gonna have another child, and then say, "Hey, we want you to be the godfather of the baby," but you moved the baby away from me.
I'm just saying, we tried to convince y'all to move out here with us.
No, we moved here first.
No, we moved first.
It's too late. We had already made a decision to come to the city. We were not gonna go from one end of creation to the other.
We didn't know y'all was really serious though, so you can't hold that against us.
Where's my wife? Where's my wife? Where's my wife?
That's all I'm saying.
Where's my wife?
She said, just on the other side from y'all. Danielle said, we're only 20 minutes from y'all.
You were 3.
Yeah, we were 3. But y'all were like an hour and some change away.
We told you we were moving.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Stop.
Hey, Candace, please set the record straight, because boom. We said, all right, cool, we're gonna do it. And then y'all move to Villa Rica or wherever y'all live now. I'll stay on.
Villa Rica? That's not...
Wherever, not even Vine City. What is it? Y'all, I only know where y'all live. It's like Columbus. No, not in Columbus. Y'all live in Alabama.
Jeff, you playing games.
Just saying. Got to fill up before I go see Carrie. Got to fill up before I go see my godchild.
That's how we were going to see y'all, though.
Yeah. We moved closer. So. Anyway.
All right, man. It was a good episode, though. For real.
Yeah, fun times. Even though you moved. Fun times. Hey, I'm Jeff.
I'm Carrie. Peace out, y'all.
Mondays, baby.